Yes, there's a Thrallmar mage. It says, I must report to the dark portal. Please don't send me to Hellfire. He did.
3, 2, 1.
On that note, welcome back to another episode of Server Restart In. It's a weekly World of Warcraft podcast with three opinionated players who like to get together to discuss their thoughts about the current state of the game. My name is Jim. I'm joined by Kristen.
Hello.
And Brian.
Hi.
And apparently we're having some navigation issues today.
I feel you because I don't think I could navigate I used to be able to navigate my way around the world like the back of my hand. I couldn't tell you.
They did a great job with the freaking portal system. Yeah. Great. But now, why don't we have portals that still make sense for those of us who went down that path and used these? Because it was all, portals were always just like, okay, this is how I skip to get from here to here. It was never like it makes sense because of the story. It made sense because of how they laid the story out, right? So we continued to use it that way to jump from area to area to area, right? There's no sense in ruining that. They ruined that. So and they didn't put a workaround. So the whole idea that I could go to jump back and forth at the Blasted Lands into Burning Crusade doesn't exist.
So the question is if you go to the Bronze Drake in Stonard or Swamp of Sorrows right before you come in and you reset Blasted Lands back to pre-Cata, does the portal work then?
No, God, I'm not even doing that. That's crazy.
Because, well, I mean, think about it, right? The current state of your character's game is after Cata is WoD. The Dark Portal has been repurposed to go to Tanaan Jungle and is destroyed on the other side. So it makes sense that you maybe couldn't go through from our end. But if you roll time back, does it work? Because that would be interesting thing.
That makes sense. But at this point, like, they have a portal to Shatrath in BC, right? So, like, the context of the portal room really should be more along the lines of the Bronze Dragonflight crap, right? Where it's, like, stateless. It just doesn't have a state with the world, right? And so, like, you can kind of come in here and I should be able to still just go to Blasted Lands anyways, but there's absolutely nothing here. And there used to be a portal to Blasted Lands for a long time
until after WoD was done and they redid the portal rooms.
No way.
Yeah, and then yes, and as you were leveling, you had to talk to a mage who would send you to the Blasted Lands. And currently, if you level a new character and you want to, like, if you do WoD Chromie time and all that stuff, or I think even if you're below a certain level and you haven't done the content, you can talk to that guy and he'll send you there. But it gets disabled after a certain point, whether it is that you've completed the content or have hit max level or something. I don't know. I don't know when it gets disabled. But there is a mage that will take you there, but he doesn't take you to the... Okay, he takes you to the Blasted Lands if you are doing the Tanaan Jungle stuff, the Warlords of Draenor stuff.
That's crazy. I thought there was always, like, a portal to the Blasted Lands sitting there.
There was.
I don't know. Maybe I was just thinking to be,
but they took it away. It was a couple expansions ago they took it away.
So frustrating. It's so frustrating.
Oh yeah.
Because I clearly don't remember, like, it disappearing in the near term, and now that, like, I don't know, it's so disabling when you think about it.
Well, when you're so used to doing something, right, and you're like, oh yeah, I know how to do this, I know how to get here, I just go boom boom boom, I jump around, I can take this portal here, hop on the boat, go here, and all that stuff. But they don't exist anymore. And when you go back to do some of that stuff, you're like,
they really should tie in. They really should use lore to tie in these ley line points throughout Azeroth and make the portaling make more sense.
Mm.
Well, yeah,
Because at that point, we've already had the time to come back in the story and settle and stuff like that. So why not just go ahead and remove the old? Well, I don't know. I guess that messes
they
up the
shot
timeline
themselves
of
in the
leveling.
foot with this shit, right? Because
They're good at that.
yeah, because if you think about it, it takes you, most of the portals take you to the faction capital city in that expansion, right? You go to Shat, you go to Oribos, which is a common main hub, Zandalar or the Tiergard Sound one, the Borealis or whatever. But for ICC, for Wrath, you go to Dalaran. Dalaran's no longer in Northrend. So for the Northrend, or for the Legion portal, it takes you to Azuna. And it's just like, because they can't have it take you. Why doesn't it take you to Dalaran? Because then they have two Dalaran portals, and now it gets confusing, and it's just like, and technically the portal to Wrath Dalaran doesn't take you, it doesn't say Dalaran, it says Crystal Song Forest, which is where Dalaran floats above, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But speaking of them taking stuff away, come Tuesday, the 15th, when Phase 2 comes out, they're going to be removing something from Shadowlands.
Shocker.
They're going to be disabling the Threads of Fate.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Yes. And
Why?
There's a good reason for it. So
What is that?
the reason is that that will put everything up a step, and then 1 through 60, well, Chromie Time will be advanced to 1 through 60, and Shadowlands will become a part of Chromie Time. Meaning that you can do level 10 to 60 in Shadowlands, and their reasoning for having Threads of Fate in there was to allow alts and all that stuff, but now with the ability to do Chromie Time and all that stuff, you already get, it's like, the whole point of Chromie Time is to level through the expansion type thing, and I had it pulled up, and now I don't even know where it went. Did I close it? That's so annoying. But yeah, so they're taking Threads of Fate away. God, I gotta find it. But yeah, I mean, it makes sense, because one, nobody's gonna want to level through Shadowlands for Chromie Time, other than like new players, because I think they forced you to do the previous expansions content. Like they did that with BFA in Shadowlands. It's like new players had to level in BFA. They couldn't do Chromie Time. So, okay, I guess it's not going to be Chromie Time. It's going to be like a main thing that you can start at level 10. So you can do Chromie Time. So that means, I guess, what? BFA will be in Chromie Time. And then Shadowlands will be the default leveling experience. So you hit level 10 and it's like, oh, go to the Maw and do all that stuff. Or you go do Chromie Time.
Ew, gross.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if they're going to have the Maw skip. Oh,
gross.
no. This is why I am trying like hell to get all my Death Knights leveled. I got like 2 days, and I've got, I don't know, no, I only got like 4 or 5 left. I've been blowing through it because apparently it's WoW's 18th anniversary. Yay, happy anniversary.
Yay.
As you can see, we're all ecstatic here. Which gives an 18% buff on top of the Winds of Fate or whatever, 50% buff that stacks. Apparently, you can also get the Darkening Fair stuff, which I'm not going to be bothered with doing. But so that's like 68% XP. Plus, this week is also Mist's Time Walking, and you get a shit ton of experience doing those dungeons. And so you just start leveling and queuing for dungeons, and just you can get through it in a couple hours. You can get from 50 to 60 in a couple hours.
Wow.
And it's just, it feels kind of gimmicky, but I'm at the point right now where I don't care.
Yeah.
I'd never thought I would say it, but I'm starting to get burnt out leveling Death Knights.
Oh, it's literally nothing anyone gives a shit about except for Jim, and he's burning out on it. Oh, I mean, at least the good thing is, are you getting burned out on the Death Knight leveling over and over, or are you getting burnt out on WoW?
No, it's definitely it's doing the same stuff over and over. Like I try to do different covenants, I try to do pick different zones and all that stuff, and it's just I'm queuing for the dungeons, and it's just like the dungeons are just like because there's some of them are bugged.
Are you tanking every time, or are you DPS?
No, oh hell no. I tried doing that, and it's just like I don't know if it's a gear issue with the scaling, or if it's like at the lower levels I don't have enough of the talents to feel effective, or it just feels sluggish, and I'm just like, no, it's like I don't want to do this. So I'll take a blood DK that I have and just switch them over to like Unholy or Frost and just DPS, because then I can do some quests in between to kind of get some of like the world quest loot and all that stuff, bump the loot up. I upgraded enough of my heirlooms to go up to 60, so Rested XP lasts a lot longer now, and it's quick, but it's getting monotonous. And who would imagine leveling the same type of character, and like in the dungeon?
I can't even.
In the dungeons,
I am surprised that you made it this far, to be honest with you.
Who even are you?
Yeah, I know.
Like, I would never second guess your dedication, but at the same time, like, there's just, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that like someone could actually go through and do something like that.
Yeah,
and stay
somebody
engaged.
Would do it.
Not really. That's not surprising. I don't think there's plenty of people that do. Like, I would call that an extreme case of like overachieving or something, right? And people have done it, like fighting the bosses for 5 hours straight just to prove a point. I don't think that's the far-fetched thing. I think that your case is like you're going on what, over a year or two or more at this point, like trying to achieve this goal.
Well,
so
it's not necessarily that it's taken that long. It's that, it's like, oh, I'm going to do this. And I made the characters, and I'm like, well, I'm going to play Shadowlands on my main. And I'm going to level all my other alts up and stuff like that and work on it like in downtime and all that stuff. And there was some downtime here or there, but like if season 4 hadn't been a thing, I'd probably be done already.
Yeah.
If they hadn't added in like the Fated Raid system and all that stuff, and if I hadn't wanted to work on like the Mythic Keys and stuff like that, for the season 4 stuff, I probably would be done by now. But it's all right. It gives me a chance to kind of play around with some of the different talents and stuff like that. I'm tending to find myself, and maybe it's just my personal play style, taking a lot of the same type of talents that I do on a different character, because it just feels like how I would play that spec.
Well, it's how you're used to like playing it, and it's more efficient. You know how to, like you've optimized Death Knight leveling and taken it. You've made it into an art form. The art of Death Knight leveling. I feel like you should make a YouTube video.
You probably should, actually.
Of leveling all of your characters. I feel like that would have been, oh my God, I feel like that would have been amazing. Like if you would have
There's not enough
started
hard drive space.
No. So edit, but you take a couple of quick videos, right? Like at the beginning, like starting a new character, and then, maybe some key moments, and then for a little comedic effect, you have some of the similar key moments. So then you're like, when you're on the next one, you're like,
well, okay.
Oh, hey, oh, look,
let's
this again. Oh, look, you know what I mean?
Let's not talk about the fact that I actually started recording stuff and then forgot that I had done that and then deleted it all.
What?
I was recording some stuff, just
Could have been
recording
like my
gameplay while I was
journey
leveling.
to 100 Death Knights.
I had a couple videos of recording of that, and then I was going through. I'm like, oh, these must be old recordings. Delete. Oh wait, oops.
Oh no.
Oh, I don't care. I was never gonna do anything. It would have taken me longer to put a video together than it would have to do all the Death Knights, because I don't do videos and stuff like that. So
yeah,
and it's just like, it's not my thing. I don't know how to be engaging and intelligent.
it's still an incredible achievement, Jim.
Absolutely.
It will be. Watch there be a feat of strength that nobody knows about.
And you gotta level one more to get it, probably.
I have them all. I even doubled them up because I have 2 pandas, one on Horde and one on Alliance.
Jeez.
So I mean, technically, there's one I don't have to do to have every race, but you know,
And you'd just be lying to yourself.
I would be. I technically have 2 Worgens too, because I started a Worgen a while ago, but I don't want to play that one. I want them all on like the same server set. So, but yeah,
Crazy.
it's
Do you officially have enough room to do all of them now? With 60 slots or whatever?
Oh, I had enough room anyway, because I had already made them all. I had went and deleted a bunch of characters that just were characters that we have made in the past and never done anything with on different servers and stuff like that. But you know, it's just like I think I had 2 slots left. I think I'm at 48 character slots right now. So I could technically make 2 more Death Knights if I wanted to. Well, currently, but I think now you can have 60, so I have 12 slots left, which
now
I don't
you have
know
60.
why, unless I wanted to make like a niche character, because like I have a couple paladins. I got a Blood Elf Paladin because they could get the the Blood Elf Paladin set when you do the quest after the end of Shadowlands and stuff like that. I've got a Zandal. No, do I still have a Zandalari Paladin? I think I made one, but I got rid of him. I got a Zandalari Druid because
I have 2 of those.
Yeah, the Druid forms are cool.
They are very cool.
I mean, it's not my main Druid by any means, you know, but
See, I will do what Jim does when they make druids playable by everybody. You know? Because
I'm just going to go ahead right now and just call bullshit.
Because
you won't do that.
By the time they finally do it, I will be done school and probably looking for something to do.
I'm going to go based on your current enthusiasm and engagement with WoW, and I'm going to say no. I have a feeling that you would start it, and then you would be kind of like, eh.
Sure. I mean...
And it would probably take you...
That's what I would do in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely start it, and I would definitely have a plan, and I might even create all of the characters, because why wouldn't I?
Yeah,
you know?
That's what I did, is I went through and I made them all.
Yeah. But that's about it. You know, I would probably start leveling one and be like, oh.
Like, God, I hate this game, and log off.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't know.
But, yeah, that's the Death Knight saga currently. I'm hoping to be done by Tuesday. Let's see what else is going on. They're going to do a stream at 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's like the pre-launch event.
Oh, does the mount that we're complaining about? Yeah.
Yeah, those things start. This is like a Blizzard stream though, with it says executive producer Holly Longdale and some developers to talk about the second phase of the thing. And it will also include the official launch cinematic. And Taryn Gregory and Anna Morgan, who's the cinematic director, is going to be talking about stuff. So that'll be a nice watch. It's on their Twitch and their YouTube channel. So that's going to come out. Somebody figured out that with the current setup, when they added in the interact key and the ability to face an object and interact with it, that you can now fish without having to click on the bobber.
Really?
Yes. All you have to do is cast it, and then when you hear the sound, hit the interact key on your keyboard.
Oh.
And boom.
No, wait, I've done that. Yeah, I had that.
Is that a macro?
That's something you can just bind it. You can bind it.
Really? To pull it in?
Yeah.
To catch the fish?
Yeah. Yep. That was a thing. Because when I was doing a lot of fishing, I did that. Yeah. Which is good.
I'm game.
Now, hold on.
Either way, because
they make it sound like this is not currently possible.
It was. Maybe they weren't fishing before. I don't know, but
well, no one asked Kristen either. So
it was something that I have done. Yes. I mean, that's.
Oh yeah, no. Somebody replied. This has been a thing for a while.
Yep.
All you have to do is set your interact keybind to a mouse over macro and position your screen so the bobber fills the screen.
Yep.
Okay, well, this is not as...
Oh, yeah, that's way more complicated.
Well, no, it's not. You toss it in, you put your mouse over the thing, and then you just hit the button. And if you have a mouse, like a MMO mouse, boom, you just make it whatever, and you just...
Well,
it was way easy. It was super easy. Definitely.
This, I guess, is going to take some of that. Like, you don't have to worry about mousing over it and stuff like that now. It's just as long as you're facing it, which you are when you cast. So
there's probably an optimal time that you could assume in most cases that the bobber will bob and then get one of those little birds.
The drinking birds and just have it go click.
Click.
The only problem is that
Click.
You would probably that would be hard to work out because it's random within a certain time frame, I think. Oh, Brian, did you see the news? WoWup is releasing a new client that supports CurseForge now. Apparently, they worked some things out with CurseForge, and now they're going to have two clients. One that does the Wago.
I thought you said it supports curse words. And I was like, what?
Curse words? No, CurseForge.
I'm like,
Have you saying the new curse words?
Those curse words.
Now you can get your fucking add-ons. Oh, wait.
Oh, my God.
I did, but now, with that little tiny client that CurseForge has.
The alpha one that you can get without Overwolf.
And I don't really have a point to go back to WoWup, and really WoWup was 3 steps convoluted for me.
Well, the only thing about WoWup that is decent,
and I'm still salty because I had the idea first.
Yeah. The only thing that's nice about WoWup is that it supports other repos, right? You can set it to GitHub because one World Quest tab add-on is no longer being supported. No, there was an add-on that was no longer being supported, but somebody branched it and has it on GitHub, but it's not being pushed out to CurseForge. So I installed it. I went and set CurseForge to ignore it, and then downloaded their version and put it in. But I'm not going to get updates for it unless I manually check for it. Right?
Yeah.
It would have been nice to just put it in the GitHub URL for that branch and done that, so that's the only bad thing I think about CurseForge is that you can't use different locations, but
still the biggest issue is still there should be an easier service for developers to put their add-ons on, and that's it. I mean, and it really should be completely automated.
It should be automated, and it should be managed by Blizzard, and it should be just
and if not, it just needs to be a good central place, because I think WoWup tried to do that, but they did it secondary to the goal they had in the first place, which was trying to aggregate all the sources together. The reality is, like, if you have, and it's like in our case, that little add-on that we made, it's just not that easy to like put it somewhere else in order for it to be consumed. So rather, there just needs to be a service that can, I don't know, upload to or something like that. That's not CurseForge, because CurseForge is out, like the way they do things is outdated, and they don't seem to be trying to update their process for developers.
They don't care,
right?
It's just a whatever.
And so instead of trying to advertise to get funding for developers to create things, they should migrate to more of a modern approach, which is trying to look for open source donations and look for a service that people can subscribe to. I would pay $1 a month if it meant I had better management of my add-ons in a heartbeat. And honestly, I'd rather pay that to like through a Blizzard program, so it's bundled, right? Instead of like another thing to manage. So
yeah,
if the Gator's listening, I know he won't do it, but maybe he'll make a consideration.
Maybe
for us.
So the inspiration catalyst, which is the replacement for the creation catalyst, fancy name change, right?
Yep.
The charges for the tier set stuff is now going to be account wide. So it's going to work a little bit. It's going to work a little bit different. You can gain charges account wide. You'll have to earn them, so you have to do things. Which I think you can get. I think you can get 6 charges per character before you cap. So then you have to use them. And if you're not using them, you're not using them. I mean, how are you going to get to a point where you have more than 6 pieces of gear you want to do with that? But, doing the activities on your main, you gain charges for your alt as well. So there's no really indication as to what these activities and stuff are that you do to earn it. It could be doing some group content. It could be like dungeons or something. It could be doing some other things. Yeah. I don't know. There's not really a lot of information, but that's a nice thing. That means that you don't have to log on to your alt and go through 7 chapters of Zereth Mortis to unlock the creation catalyst to even start gaining charges. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like there's no prereq that you have to do on your alt. It'll just, and I don't know if it's going to be like, well, they won't start gaining charges until your alt is level 60. I mean, that I kind of could see making a little bit of sense, because the system isn't active until max level, but it allows you to then do that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. I thought that was pretty neat. I don't know how many charges I currently have anyway. Hopefully they put it in a currency tab. I mean, because I'm pretty sure my main character, I probably have over 80 now. Which is funny. But, because nobody's really getting gear. I'm not doing anything on my main to get gear, so.
So today I logged in. I'm actually on right now, but it's been the first time in a long time that I've actually tried to do something. So the first thing I did, like I always do at the end of every expansion, I deleted all. I sold all of my crafting supplies, anything worth value from Shadowlands that I was holding on me or my bank. I sold it. I sold it all.
I sold it.
I mean, what are you gonna do with it?
It's kind of like my little thing now. I remember, like, at the end of every expansion when I'm kind of completely done, I've been just going through and just wiping the slate clean.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, my bags look amazing.
Hey, you want to do mine?
You would hate me if I did yours.
Yeah,
okay,
I would.
Nobody wants to sort through that stuff. Her bags are insane.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I'm like, I don't even care. That's why, like, I just, boop, it's gone.
Yeah.
And it feels good, though, because I'm ready. I'm ready to have some fun again.
What I will end up doing is I have a bunch of groups set up in TSM, Trade Skills Manager add-on, and currently I have it set up so that and I have each category like cloth and all that stuff set up, and I have each thing set up to have each item from each expansion, and then I have rules in place for mailing it to if it's not the current expansion, it mails it to my bank alt, who then sells it, right?
Oh, look at you!
And then if it's the current one, I have it send it to my characters, my main characters that have those professions, so that they get the mats, and I just go in, I hit mail selected groups, and it just disperses everything out into the ether to the characters. And what I'll end up doing is, when the new thing gets ready to start, I'll make my new groups and add the items as I come across them, and then I'll change the Shadowland groups to send to the bank, and then I'll have to go in and clean out my bank on each character, like the reagent bank or whatever, and take everything out and go mail it off and then sell it. But it's a system. It's kind of the same thing. But
Very interesting.
I
I just hoard my stuff and then I throw it away. Actually, I should be happy. I think I made I don't know, 2,000 gold just selling the random crap that I've been, because I do all my reagents and I go to the bank and throw them in the reagents tab, and they just sit there because I forget that they're there. Mm-hmm. Although I can still use them, but I haven't been using anything. So
that is quite a bit of stuff. That was one of the best fucking changes they put in this game, is the ability to craft using reagents that are in your fucking bank. You know what I mean? It's you don't have to have them in your bags. You don't have to go get the things out and then go craft. It's nope. If you got them in your inventory somewhere, it uses them. And that, I think, that's fantastic. But
it's definitely a lifesaver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's all right. So it's been 3 weeks and we've had 3 legacy videos.
Oh, that's right.
And we haven't really talked about them.
Yes.
So basically, I guess we did kind of talk about the first one was Nas dorm room coming across Gale Ember. I guess he was freeing, I don't know if he was freeing them or came across them to make contact with them after they woke up from their stasis. But he showed Scale Ember the history of the dragon aspects, when they fought Galakron and were gifted the gift of the Titans and became the aspects and all that stuff. And then the second one, oh, Battle Cat, stop it. The second one was, what was the second one? Oh, it was when they had to kill Deathwing. They talked about all that stuff and how they had to stop Deathwing with the Demon Soul or the Dragon Soul or whatever the hell it's called. And then the third one, which was the most recent one, was he used the Sands of Time to go back in their memory to see what it was. And you find out that Neltharion was using a Titan artifact to basically control them. And I don't know if it was a full mind control or if it was just so have you played the Knights of the Old Republic games? The original,
long time ago.
Right. So there was a force power called Battle Meditation that I think, what was her name? Ballista? The female with the double-bladed yellow saber, I think, who is one of the main characters in the first one, had it. And, it allows them to meditate and talk to everybody on the battlefield to coordinate this stuff. And I don't know if this Titan artifact is a similar type of thing, but the primalistic get attack and all that stuff, and it gets destroyed and everything goes crazy. And then Neltharion's just well, we're either going to die or I'm going to summon this other power, and he summons the old god power and shit like that. So that's probably the first instance of when Neltharion came into contact with the old gods himself. I mean, obviously when they were fighting Galakrond I think was already poisoned by that stuff, but I don't know. There's implications there that I don't know. It was good. I like the shorts. I think that they are very well done.
Very short.
They're 5 minutes. I mean, that's like kind of what they all have been.
It makes me upset because like they do such a great job at it, but then they're like right there next to a cinematic. It's like, oh, I'd really love to just have the cinematic instead.
Yes. It's a different, like, they're going to dump these in the game, and they're going to pop up in points game, which I think is dumb, right? I don't think that these should be included in the game as like an event happens and then this happens, because they did it with the Afterlife things. They did it in BFA with the Warbringer stuff. Like they had different events in there where like those things would come out and like they would play that in the game. I'm like, don't release all this shit beforehand and then make me watch it again. You know, it's like, let this stuff serve as, an appetizer for the game, and then put something in the game in place of that where you would normally put that and make it better. I don't know. But that aside, it still is a pretty damn fantastic. The art style is great. It reminds me a lot of the Guild Wars 2 stuff, because Guild Wars 2, they have like cutscene like animations like that are like very like painted type, not look more like actual artwork instead of, like animated stuff. But it's a good, it's good lore dumps for sure, because this whole thing with that Titan artifact.
Yeah, I shouldn't complain, because the better focus on lore is actually really nice. So
the question
maybe
is,
I take that back a bit.
What is that artifact? You know what I mean? Is it
the one that's already broke?
Yes, it's broken, right? It was a Titan relic or something like that, and it was a glove. And we're going into Uldaman, and the title of the dungeon now is Uldaman Legacy at Tyr. My question is that something that is it the Hand of Tyr? Is that what that is?
Oh, interesting.
Like he lost his hand fighting the whatever, right? Didn't he lose a hand?
Yeah.
And then maybe he crafted a relic to replace it, and then when he fell in Tyr's fall, it was lost to time or whatever, and Neltharion found it and then used it. Because was Tyr was he like a warrior? Like, was he about battle?
I don't actually remember. I keep thinking of the one that's in Mists of Pandaria. Raiden.
Oh, Raiden. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Do we Titans, or he wasn't a Titan, he was a Titan Guardian, right? Or was
Titan Keeper?
Titan Keeper, yeah. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yes, he lost his hand, because it's the same thing as freaking the Norse mythology, because all the Titan Keepers are like Norse mythology. Thorin, Loken, Odin, and all that stuff, right? In Tyr, they tricked the Fenris wolf into tying it up, and, he made a deal with the wolf. He'd put his hand in there while they tied the thing around his neck so there could be no trickery, and then there was trickery, so he bit his hand off. And that's how Tyr loses his hand in, like, the Norse mythology. So, yes, he lost his hand. So my guess is that it's the Hand of Tyr. I don't know if that's been said anywhere. I don't think I've read it anywhere. But I feel that that's what it is. And so, I don't know. There's all these theories going around that I've been kind of avoiding too, that, Nasdormu's already Murazan.
Oh, yeah.
And then
it would be interesting though.
And then I keep seeing stuff, especially after this last one come out, being like, "Are we the bad guys?" or something like that. And it's just like, what?
I would love us to be the bad guys.
Well, it's just like I don't.
I mean, we always are, aren't we?
I would love us to be the bad guys.
Well, yeah, like we go to fight Illidan, like in Burning Crusade.
Yeah.
Illidan was actually trying to defeat the Legion, and we went and attacked him because he didn't tell anybody what the fuck he was doing, and everybody thought he was doing bad shit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we did something, but, you know, it's like...
Yeah, well, it's always unknowing, though, right? Like, that's the problem, is it's unknowing. If it was knowing, it'd be a much cooler story, right? Like, we know we're the bad guys, so we need to constantly go mess stuff up.
Yes.
The reality is, like, we're just always one step behind things in general. So, which is the nature of having expansions in a multiplayer game.
Yeah,
there's something to do.
This goes back to the whole thing: was the jailer right? You know, kind of thing. You know, did we, you know, it's like this is the crux of everything, right? It's like you even see this like in D&D games when people are playing. It's like you go and you stop this guy, and then all of a sudden something worse happens. Because you stopped this guy, and like maybe he was actually trying to stop something worse from happening, you know. And it's just like it's all about perspective. And it's like in the moment while we're doing this, we think what we're doing is right and just and needs to happen, and maybe it doesn't. I'm just gonna say it. Sylvanas was probably right.
Yeah, I guess saying that, right? Me saying, "Oh my god, I would love it if we were the bad guys." Well, no. It does kind of stand because, right, Sylvanas was made the bad guy, and I was like, oh my god, you know, not great.
Yeah, I don't know. They did it in a poopy way, though, in my opinion.
But that's also different than us actually being the bad guys and not kind of being like the unwitting bad guys.
Yeah, it's an unwitting pawn in a thing, and it's just like we're just going around fucking shit up, and it's kind of like the Mystery Gang from like Scooby-Doo, right? Except maybe they go and they stop, you know.
That's the first thing I was thinking of. That's
like,
awesome.
Like I would have got away with it if it wasn't for you pesky heroes and your stupid Khadgar too, you know. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's one way. I mean, nothing is black and white. Everything comes in shades of gray, you know. It really just depends on your perspective about things, you know. I mean, what came first, the nascent Titan souls or the old gods? You know, I mean, you know, is the fact that the old gods were here first, you know, does that mean give them claim to do whatever they want, and we're just like stopping the natural order of things, or is it just I don't know. I don't know. I think I can't wait to find out what's going on in this fucking story. Because I don't know. I know that the Primalists are coming back, and it's an ancient enemy of the dragons, and it's basically, which is weird because if you see it, they got people in from like all the races in there, and they wouldn't have been there 10,000 years ago initially, or before that, because not all the races existed. Because I'm reading the Well of Eternity stuff again, and there were Tauren. There were dwarves, and there were elves. There were trolls, too, I think. They talked about trolls, but there weren't humans, or the humans were unknown. And it's... I don't know if the humans existed yet, because aren't humans just basically really small versions of the Vrykul that suffer from the curse of flesh?
Yeah, something like that. I don't fully remember it.
I'm pretty sure that's where
that was a Lich King thing, wasn't it?
Yes.
That we learned about?
Yeah. Because like you had the curse of flesh, which took like the Stoneborn or like the mechanical things and made them mortal. And I think that's dwarves suffer from it too, maybe, but like the Vrykul doesn't like descend or something like that. But it's just like 10,000 years ago, they didn't have all that stuff, but I guess they did have Tauren. I don't know. I don't know when the races came about.
I think the trolls are one of the oldest. We know that.
Trolls are older than elves because elves are trolls mutated by the Nightwell. Yeah. Right? And that's a fact. And that pissed every fucking elf player off when that became can't. I know, but I mean, it makes sense, you know. But yes, it'll be interesting to see how everything plays out. I'm excited for it. We're gonna get some stuff on Tuesday. Tuesday's when the phase 2 starts. That's when all the storms are gonna come out, and you can get your catch-up gear if you want to do that. I'm just gonna try and gather all the sets for all like the different, armor classes. I'm not gonna try doing it on every fucking character because I don't have time to do that. Because I have too many death knights.
Poor Jim.
But that's coming out, so we're gonna get like Drakthir are gonna be put in. You'll be able to do the starting story for them, and the new dungeon's coming out. So I'm looking forward to doing the dungeon. I'm looking forward to learning just what's going on, and I think it's gonna be a fun time, and it'll be nice to have something to do that's not Death Knight leveling.
Yep, it'd be nice to put some of the changes to work based on the last big patch. So, because the whole changes the UI and the structure, the characters with their talents and stuff has been empty for me because I haven't done anything with it. So I'm kind of excited for the stuff to come out to apply it a little bit.
I am not missing much of my old UI add-on. There's certain things, there's certain windows I wish I could drag around and all that stuff, but yeah, for the most part, no. I mean, I got my UI set up pretty damn nice. I wish I could move.
The only thing that bothers me is that I still can't figure out how to, what was it? It was the combat text I'm still having issues with, and any of the action bar slots that aren't being used still show up. And that used to be like a option, but I couldn't find it again.
It's on in the edit mode. When you're in the edit mode, you click on you click on the main action bar, like your action bar 1, and it might have a box to check hide empty slots or something like that.
No,
Nothing
there.
Is it?
You can hide the bar art, or you can hide bar scrolling.
Okay,
that's it.
Well, then in the options, if you just type empty, does it come up with an option for it? Are you
maybe, Jim? Maybe.
Are you utilizing the search function to this full effect?
I am, actually.
I love that search function because I don't want to have to remember where everything is.
The problem is the way that they name things now. It's like, I gotta fucking find exactly. Yeah, I don't know. That was like the combat text stuff. I automatically assume it's a bug just because, and it could be a bug based on what I have going on. I'm not sure, but I only have one add-on running, so
damn.
I'm actually enjoying it quite a bit. It's just there are little bugs I keep seeing. Like one earlier when I was messing with the bag, the full bag view. When you get something new in your bag and it highlights blue, kind of, or glows, and like 2 lines of empty slots glowing. Where it just like stacks up, and I'm like, okay, you're bugged, you piece of shit.
There are little things, yes, and
and I'm not being salty. I'm just saying it's trying to find these things in the way they change, because I know these were options before. I should be able to go to the interface and see these options, and I don't see them anymore. So they've either renamed them or something, and it's frustrating. So
all right, well, thanks everybody for listening. It's been a blast. You can check us out at facebook.com/server-restart-in. Use a tweet at server_restart, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.